Thursday, the prosecutor called with a plea deal offer for Preston, which was 18 months in jail and 5 years probation, plus mandatory therapy and a permanent restraining order. She said if he didn't take it, they'd go for the maximum 5 years and asked if I was okay with the deal. I thought about it overnight and decided I wanted closure more than revenge, so Friday morning I told them to accept it. Preston's lawyer called back an hour later saying Preston would only take the deal if I admitted I overreacted, which made the prosecutor so mad she withdrew the offer completely. She said we were going to trial, and she was going for the maximum sentence now because that showed he had zero remorse. Saturday at Pilates, a new woman came up to me after class with tears in her eyes. She said she'd seen my story shared in a women's support group online, and it gave her the courage to leave her abusive boyfriend last week. She thanked me for being brave enough to share what happened and said I probably saved her life. It didn't make what I went through worth it, but at least something good came from all this pain. Tuesday morning, my lawyer called with news about the trial date being set for 3 months out. Preston's new lawyer was already filing motions trying to get the Instagram posts and voice message thrown out as evidence. He kept saying the posts were free speech and the voice message was private. The judge wasn't having any of it and denied every single motion. Preston's legal strategy of demanding his victim admit she overreacted really shows he graduated from the school of missing the point with highest honors. Way to tank your own plea deal, genius. 2 days later, I went to sign a lease on a new apartment across town. The building had a doorman and security cameras everywhere, plus you needed a key fob just to get in the elevator. The landlord was this older woman who took one look at my restraining order paperwork and said she'd had other tenants in my situation. She made sure I knew about the panic buttons in every room and the direct line to security. That Sunday, the Pilates crew came over to help me pack up my old place. Miranda brought champagne and Sophia brought moving boxes, while Olivia made a playlist of breakup songs. We went through 2 years worth of stuff, and every time we found something of Preston's, it went straight in the trash. When we found our old photos together, I didn't even feel sad anymore, just relief that it was over. Olivia wanted to burn them in some kind of ritual, but we just used the shredder instead. Friday evening, I had to go back to court because Derek was getting sentenced for helping Preston break the restraining order. The judge gave him 200 hours of community service and probation. Outside the courthouse, Derek stopped me and started crying, saying Preston had convinced him I was the crazy one. He'd been going to therapy and realized how messed up their whole friend group was. The next Wednesday morning, Preston's lawyer tried something really dirty by subpoenaing my medical records from 5 years ago. He found out I'd been treated for an eating disorder in college and wanted to use it to prove I was mentally unstable. My lawyer immediately filed to block it, saying it had nothing to do with the case. The judge agreed and actually fined Preston's lawyer for even trying that move. Monday afternoon was when things got really interesting because Mrs. Davidson had to give a deposition about her son. She brought emails and texts from 2 of Preston's ex-girlfriends who'd reached out after seeing the news. Both of them had similar stories about him getting controlling and angry when they tried to leave. One girl had gotten a restraining order 3 years ago that Preston violated twice. Saturday evening, Miranda set me up on a coffee date with her friend from work. The guy was perfectly nice and normal, but I spent the whole time looking for red flags in everything he said. When he reached for the sugar, I actually flinched, thinking he was going to grab me. He asked if I wanted to get dinner sometime, and I made up an excuse about being too busy. I wasn't ready to trust anyone new yet. Thursday morning, Preston had to complete his court-ordered psychological evaluation for the trial. The psychologist diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial features.